Audio
Ho, 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 everybody. Welcome to another edition of Don Mafia Live, your go-to show Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. EST. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for always being a part of this daily on a Monday through Friday basis. Super excited. Guys, today's show is a bit of a curveball, but I'm thinking about making this a tradition on Wednesdays. I was originally supposed to have my buddy who covers the Browns on. His name is Quincy Carrier. Very, very smart. We're going to go through the Cleveland Browns and really discuss exactly what he thinks the Browns are going to do this year. I, for one, think the Browns have been exclusively slept on, but we had to push that to tomorrow, as a matter of fact. However, I will say one thing. Today's tradition, I feel like each and every single one of us, right? We start our morning, some espresso, some coffee, some regret, who knows? But 9 times out of 10, in the white noise area or the background, we're listening to Good Morning Football. We're listening to ESPN or NFL on Fox. And a lot of the times, like, you get all of this vanilla coverage, really bad takes, because let's be honest with ourselves, what the hell are we talking about during the off season? So on today's episode, what I wanted to do is I wanted to react to everything that these fools are talking about on a national stage and see whether or not that we agree with it, and we can get into a little healthy debate amongst ourselves. Very excited to get this show off of the ground once again. Smash that like button when smash that like button when you come on in. Thank you so much. Okay, Dre came in and said, Dan, heads or tails? Let me tell you what, TD Finstock called me yesterday on his stream, and I shouldn't have picked up the phone because I know that he streams at around 10 a.m. or 10:30. And dude trolled me in front of all of those Dolphins fans. But you know what? I will get the last laugh, my friend. For those of you just coming in, we're about to be reacting to what the national media has been saying about the NFL in general and see what is going on. Before we dive into it, though, I do need to give a giant shout out to today's sponsor. And that just so happens to be the Manta Sleep Mask. Guys, listen, for the longest time, I've had a very difficult time getting true sleep. I toss and turn. If there's any light that's even leaking through the crack of my front door, I am not able to achieve that REM sleep. That was until I found this Manta Sleep Mask. Man, like, when I tell you that this blocks out all light, it's super comfortable, designed exclusively for side sleepers, which I am, stomach sleeper, who knows, not sure what you guys are. But this right here has helped me out tremendously. I feel wildly rested. My 3 cups of coffee have turned into 1 cup of coffee each and every single morning, and it's all because of this sleep at the end of the day. So do me a favor, check out that link in my description. This right here is a great gift for girlfriend, mother, father, who knows. Really, anybody that ever bitches about not getting enough sleep, just go on ahead and knock this out, and you will get an extra 10% off on your first order by using my code that is in the description as well. Manta Sleep Mask, whatever you do, baby. Whatever you damn do, take care of it. Take care of it. Okay, so like I said, I want to go through all of this stuff right here. We are going to just start off with Good Morning Football. Love Good Morning Football. Some of it can be corny from time to time, but for the most part, I think that I really enjoy what they have on the table. So, and look at this. First thing. All right. So, do the Browns have the best pass rushing duo in the NFL? Guys, listen, right before we even watch this video, I do want to tell you that, dude, everyone is disrespecting the Cleveland Browns. Everybody is disrespecting the Cleveland Browns. So let's see what they got to say. Let's see if that they become, let's see if that they make us believers. Do the Browns have the best pass rushing duo in the NFL right now? Volume, let's do it.
Pass rusher Zadarius Smith to the Browns, where now he joins in partnership with Myles Garrett. Oh my goodness, both of these players have had 3 or more seasons with 10 or more sacks. That's a lot getting after the quarterback.
First off, Zadarius Smith on top of the Browns is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. But let's continue.
So it begs the question, Do the Browns have the best pass rushing duo in the league right now? Could have gone historical, could have just looked at the Browns, but we want to look at it as a whole. Are they the best?
Yeah, I'm going to challenge your Browns, and I'm going to go down the road to Pittsburgh, and I'm going to look at the duo that they have that is forming. Alex Highsmith on the other side have 14.5 sacks last year. Watt injured, didn't play in all the games, only played in 10.
Speaking of the Steelers, I'm not even going to lie to you guys. Like, speaking to the Steelers, one thing I will say is that everyone's counting them out, like, in that division. That division, in my opinion, is probably equally as scary as the AFC East this year. Equally as scary as the AFC East. I don't think that anybody could really convince me otherwise, but
10 games. If he gets back to form, 22.5 sacks in 2021, I think these two can make up the best pass rushing duo. Don't forget Cam Hayward's on the team too. He had 10.5 sacks last year as well.
I mean, I'm not really sure between the Browns and so I'm really not even sure between the Browns and the Steelers. Do me a favor and sound off in the live. And so sound off in the chat of which pass rush you would take over the Browns or the Steelers. I'm picking the Browns. Myles Garrett's generational. So is Zadarius Smith. I like Highsmith. I like TJ Watt too. But
I think Alex Highsmith stepping up and Watt's absence last year. And now TJ Watt coming back full strength. I think those two coming off the edge can really challenge the Browns with Myles Garrett and Zadarius Smith. So I'm going to go with Pittsburgh down the street.
Steelers finished 9-8. I think they make the playoffs without the Watt injury. It's football. People get
playoffs for the Steelers. I'm not entirely sure that I could really agree with that. Elliot, what's going on, man? Sup, Dan? Dude, hope all is well. And Elliot says, I like Good Morning Football and their corn. I love Good Morning Football. It is the best show on the national media, I would say. And it's like relatively, it's not as clickbaity. It's not as, hey, let me piss off this fan base that I know that everybody on earth is going to absolutely roast us in the comment section for it. It's genuine takes. And can you actually disrespect them? They have to have earned some respect first. Touche. Let's keep it going.
Injured, but they were good, and he'll be good next year. But I'm going to check. I'm going to stay right here, same division, same topic. I think it's the Browns. I still think Myles Garrett is the man. It's a weird thing with the Browns. I like talking about their players and their team because
Come on, man.
Browns conversation over the last 2 years has been so bizarre and awkward, and it will continue to be because their quarterback situation. But there's nothing bizarre and awkward about that guy. He almost ended Justin Fields' career in year one, like in that game. It was one of the worst things I've ever seen. Unbelievably unblockable, unstoppable number.
Yeah, Myles Garrett's a scary dude, man. He's an absolutely scary dude. Very scary.
An overall pick. So Darius, great. Put anybody with Myles Garrett. I still think he's the man.
I almost feel like I'm breaking the segment. You think duo. I don't know who the guy is, but I love what the 49ers have just up front.
Yeah.
So you've got Bosa, obviously defensive player of the year.
This guy's like, I mean, I'm not even sure. Do me a favor and sound off in the chat of who you think is like has the best pass rush in the NFL. So far, they've mentioned the Niners, they've mentioned the Browns, and they've mentioned the Steelers.
And then with that, you've got
very
Hargrave, the new addition. You've got Armstead, and you also have all these guys in the linebacker core. So I'm going to say Nick Bosa and then fill in the blank, whoever you want as far as the 49ers. I'd probably say Eric Armstead, though, who's always in the backfield.
Instead rewind it?
Well,
I love what the 49ers have
Right
up front.
Yeah.
So you've got Bosa, obviously defensive player of the year. And then with that, you've got Hargrave, the new addition. You've got Armstead, and you also have all these guys in the linebacker core. So I'm going to say Nick Bosa and then fill in the blank, whoever you want as far as the 49ers. I'd probably say Eric Armstead, though, who's always in the backfield and just causing problems.
Well, this lends itself to our rivalry conversation we had about the Eagles and the 49ers, because you could kind of make the same argument for the Eagles.
My God, thank you.
Like, is it Brandon Graham?
Yeah.
Is it Josh Sweat? Like, who do you put in on the other side of there after Javon Hargrave left town to go to the 49ers? So that pass rushing combo. But I'm curious about the Zadarius Smith move away from the Vikings.
Okay. Honestly, I think it's going to have to go to the Niners. I think that's always something. Oh, the Twilight dude. The Twilight dude, bro. Let's see what he's got to say. Okay, this right here, I'm very excited. I just wish it would have happened like 3 years ago when the team was at its peak on the Saints signing Derek Carr, which is, dude, I mean, I personally think, what's up, Chris? How's life, man? From Hawaii. What time is it over there, man? It's like 6 a.m. My guy, starting off early. Listen, let me tell you something a little bit about the Saints. I think they may still win the NFC South because the NFC South is absolutely terrible this year. But I feel like Derek Carr, man. Like, I mean, I feel like that they're almost better off with Jameis Winston. But let's see. And so let's see what Twilight's got to say.
Was a Saints fan? Can you explain the change of allegiance?
Yeah.
I know it's tricky.
Wait,
I
what
would
was it?
say I'm
You grew up a Lions fan, but now you
Yo, you traitor. Get back up on your damn team. Get back up on your damn team, man. Chris, aloha, my boy. Yo, Chris, quick question. Are you from Hawaii originally? Or so did you make the move? Super, super interesting. Best pass rush, I would say, is the Eagles. Last year, for sure. Last year, 1,000%, I would say it is. I mean, we're going to have to see how those rookies. So we're going to have to see how those rookies can sort of make the transition into the NFL. But
affiliate yourself as a Saints fan. Can you explain the change of allegiance?
I know it's tricky. I would say I'm both a Lions and Saints fan.
Okay.
My hometown loyalty goes to the Lions, but I'm friends with Sean Payton and the Saints organization.
Shameless flex. Subtle flex right there. Homies with Sean Payton. I love it.
Who I
So is he a Broncos guy now, though, too? Maybe he's a Broncos guy.
I met while filming the.
Okay, yeah, man. You're boring me right now. Okay, what else we got? We have 1 hour to go discussing the Chicago Bears. Okay, listen, if there's any Bears fans in here watching this, or maybe even after the pre-recorded, not going to lie to you, this team is so hype, is so overhyped for winning 4 games last year. But let's see what they got to say. Discussing the Chicago Bears, GM Ryan Poles involving Justin Fields in their draft process. Okay, guy that won you 4 games last year, making sure that he's involved in the draft process. Makes sense. Makes sense.
Jay of yours once upon a time, and he said it was important for him to have quarterback Justin Fields involved in the team's draft process. Despite being a quarterback who was the QB1 of a 3-win team last year, what was your reaction to hearing Poles bringing in Fields' opinion on the draft and really trusting his voice as the quarterback number 1?
You know, Peter, when I first read the article, read the quote that he had let him in the draft room and shown him the board and done anything, I was like, Poles, what are you doing? And then I thought about it and I read the article further. And what was clear here is Poles didn't sit there and tell him each individual move that they were going to make. He wasn't breaking up the clusters of players and saying, we're going to have this guy ahead of this guy or this guy ahead of this guy. What he was doing was he was explaining his process and what their strategy was, which is really, really smart by Brian Poles. And Ryan Poles, will tell you this, hired him in 2009, one of the smartest people that I've been around, and organized and detailed. But the most important thing that I loved about Ryan when he was in our office was that he was a relationship builder. And this is what he's all about. If you read that article further, he talks about the relationship not only with his quarterback, Justin Fields, but he talks about the relationship that he had to build with his coaches and all the assistant coaches, and how there's so much give and take, and there's so many questions that are asked where they don't ask people. What they do is this: they ask people questions to explain process.
All right, buddy, let's get to the point here. Let's get to the point. Come on.
Life. If you understand someone's process, if you understand how people arrive at decisions, it gives you a lot of insight, not only into who they are, but it helps you understand the decisions that they've made.
Okay, for a second, I thought they were trying to say that Justin Fields was essentially pulling an Aaron Rodgers. And so an Aaron Rodgers and just involving him entirely into this process itself. I mean, definitely making sure that they're all on point. I could definitely get it. 4,000-yard passers. Okay, this is generating my interest. Let's talk about this.
What you're looking at now is a list of quarterbacks who are the last to throw 4,000 or more yards for their respective franchises. The last quarterback to do it for your team. Okay, so Burrow makes sense. This is 2022. Goff, 2022. But you start going down the list as you go team by team by team. And you start seeing the year.
Josh, my guy. Out of anybody that's in the chat that's a Bills fan right now, which I'd imagine the vast majority of you, who was the last 4,000-yard passer for the Bills before Josh Allen? Does anybody know? You know what, dude? I should start doing a fucking Bills trivia game show. In fact, I'm pretty sure I have this card game. That's a good idea, actually. I'm going to start doing a Bills trivia card game on Thursday nights or something like that. And I'll give away prizes and stuff like that for winners, like Jeopardy. Who was the last Buffalo Bills quarterback to throw for over 4,000? Don't use Google. Impress me.
start trickling away a little bit. The last Falcon to do it was Matt Ryan in 2020. The last Colt was Phillip Rivers. Keep it going now. Let's keep going as we get further
The drop-off is
further
alarming.
back.
Oh, rough,
Patriots,
man.
Mac Jones hasn't done it yet, so it's Brady. Now you're looking at Joe Flacco as the last Ravens passer. But wait, some franchises have even longer than that wait?
The Bears have never had. Wow. Yo. The Niners is surprising. And so the Niners is surprising. The Bears is insane. The Bears never having a 4,000-yard passer is absolutely wild. The Jets since 1967. The Browns make sense. And then the Titans, who were the Oilers at that one point. Dick J says, was it Fitz? Was it Fitz? Nope. It was not Fitz. The last 4,000-yard passer for the Buffalo Bills before Josh Allen in one season. I'm so confident and so about this as well. And so I'm more active during the season, busy man outside of YouTube shenanigans. Absolutely, man. You have to. You have to.
Yes. Tannehill, the last Dolphin. Come on, Tua. Peyton Manning, the last Bronco to do it.
Oh, man.
And then we get down to the sweet spot
The
here.
Niners one as well.
Jeff Garcia as the last
Titan.
That's
Yeah.
wild, man. That's wild. Those poor Bears. Will it be done today? Which Good Morning Football QB? I'm good on that. Whiteboard Wednesday, the QB room. Most like to hang out with? This is just pulling shit. Should Joe Burrow be willing to take a discount? I feel like we want to hear this. Let's go.
Because the quarterback, they 98% of the time are the face of the team or the face of the division or the league. And it's almost like, okay, you, sir, you, my friend, you, my quarterback, have to make the concession because you get to be that guy. I'm over here being a wide receiver and no one really pays
Yes, the answer was Drew Bledsoe.
as much attention to me or the running back. So therefore you take your money down. I want to get paid as like number 1, 2, or 3, but the quarterback then, obviously any quarterback discount we ever hear, it goes back to the one that did it best or most strategically. And that's Tom Brady. Now I have a complicated screen I want to show you, but this is what it looks like when Tom Brady got drafted. The money he made year after year when he got extended, 2 restructurings you see on that list. In 2013 and again in 2019. What's interesting about Brady's career is that between 2011 and 2022, there was only a single season that Tom Brady was the highest paid player in the NFL.
That's team first right there, man. Listen, as much as we want to hate on Tom Brady, like he was definitely team friendly. I think that if Burrow is smart, if he wants to keep the best 3 wide receiver trio, that was redundant. The best wide receiver trio in the league. Before that, it was Allen. Before that, it was Mahomes. As far as yearly guaranteed, I'm talking about. So I don't know why. I just have a feeling that Burrow is gonna. He is 1,000% going to take a team-friendly discount.
A single season, he made the most money. He was never the biggest cap hit to his team in the time that he was making his money. How many Super Bowls did he win? How many teams did he do that for? That one year that he played, that one year that he won the Super Bowl for Tampa Bay, he was the highest paid player. But of the top 5, 3 of them were on the offensive line for offensive paid players. So he knew, I think, had an awareness. It also helps when you marry a wildly successful.
That's not insignificant.
It's not insignificant. We've talked about it on the show. That's what it looks like when you want to pay your offensive.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that is true. Like, say like your girl is rich. So say that your girl is rich, then I think you could afford to take. Well, I mean, honestly, like I can't believe I just said that. I think you can afford to take a discount. Like we're talking millions of dollars. We're talking 8 digits worth of money. Absolutely insane. Cody comes in and says, I stopped watching Good Morning Football after Jamie joined. She really showed how fake the show is, and it's cringy. Yeah, man, we're just looking at what the national media is saying today. We're giving our takes to see if we agree with them or to think if it's corny. from there. I guarantee you Burrow takes at least $50 million per year. Yeah. What really hurts the team is the guaranteed, right? So I'm thinking that he'll probably take a little break on the whole. He'll definitely take a break on all of that. Okay, so that's all of the stuff that Good Morning Football has put out today as far as on their Twitter page. Normally what I would do is I would There you go. Kay Adams. Speaking of that, I miss Kay Adams. I do. She's talking about the Finns. Let's see what the Finns got to say here, man. Kay Adams. Everyone misses her, man. Everybody misses Kay Adams. Let's go.
My question for the Dolphins is not about Tua and his health. It's about, can Jalen Ramsey and Vic Fangio, the OG, fix the defense? Sure. There are Tua questions, even with him missing a third of the season. Though, let me tell you something. This was the 6th best total offense in the league with him missing all those games. The defense, on the other hand, had some major woofies going on. 23rd in scoring D last season, 27th against the pass. Not great. You know, I don't know. They've got better quarterback play in the division, right?
See, it's funny that they were ranked that low because the Bills struggled against them last year for some reason. I think that it definitely had to do with the conditions during that Week 3 matchup, and then later into the season where the Bills just weren't on at all. We still won. I think Fangio is going to improve them a bit. Like, I mean, not as significant as I think that the media is letting on. I don't think that they're going to be like top 3 defense in the league next year or anything like that, but I think Fangio is going to make it work.
If their conference is nuts this year, so they have to make moves. They did. Chris Greer and the Dolphins, they had a nice response to this. They went in. They weren't satisfied with playoff appearances, and they fixed the defense. They hope. Will it translate? We'll see. Their first move is they made the DC change from Josh Boyer to Vic Fangio. And I know people might be, I saw a little bit on Twitter that was like, Vic Fangio, blah, blah, blah. Just because things didn't pan out and you didn't excel as a head coach, let's please not forget that Vic is one of the best defensive coordinators in NFL history. Okay, I mean that, NFL history. He had 5 top 5 defenses over the last 10 seasons with 3 different franchises. Beat that. This is a big-time move. This is a big-time swing by the Dolphins to fix this defense. And then another one for a superstar when they bring in Jalen Ramsey like a month later. World-class corner, Super Bowl champion, pedigree, chip on his shoulder.
Okay.
He knows how to get it done. I think it's fair to say that last season didn't meet his or our standards of Ramsey greatness. For whatever reason, we saw a lot of this. We saw him
Well, I mean, that's just because Stephon Diggs has his number.
taking a lot of chances. We saw him give up more big plays.
What a burn. And so is he just not paying attention?
We're used to seeing him give up. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it was, and I'm not going to get into it. I know he wants to perform better. And if he can lock in and get back to being a lockdown corner, we know he can be with Xavier Howard on the other side, the secondary can get hitting overnight. I swear. And if that happens.
Somebody coming in the chat saying that K is wifey material. He's been getting cooked all season. He's about to get cooked again. He's about to get cooked again this year. What else we got here? Show me some stuff, baby. Show me some things to react to. Oh, shit. So Devontae Adams on the Raiders front office. We don't see eye to eye on what we think is best for us right now. I'm going to have to buy into this and try to be as optimistic as possible. It's not what I expected to happen, but it's nothing that's the reality now. I mean, dude, like, you took the bag. You took the damn bag from that team. And I mean, granted, you would have been screwed regardless. Like, you would have been screwed regardless. If you were to stay in Green Bay, if you were to re-sign with them, we all know that Aaron Rodgers was going to be leaving that team after he signed that contract just a year ago as well. You probably should have shopped her out a little bit, man. I mean, I feel like you probably should have took a lesser deal for elsewhere, but I mean, there's no way that he can realistically think that this dude or this team is going to even sniff the playoffs this year. There's no way. And so they're not even sniffing the playoffs at this point. Is Doug Baldwin Jr. the most underrated wide receiver ever? Let's check it out.
Baldwin on the Seattle Seahawks this guy used to, off the line of scrimmage, you would try to press him. He would skip off the line of scrimmage, and then it would be an and one mixtape type of move. And I'm talking about Doug Baldwin on the Seattle Seahawks. This guy was a really good football player, and he may not get the love that he deserves, but anybody that
Doug Baldwin, absolute boss. Thurman Thomas's birthday was yesterday. Let's do a quick little shout out to the boy, to the kid. What else? The Jackson Mahomes situation is pretty rough. Look at that. Dude, he was choking her. Was she smiling? So was that a scream? One of the two. Jackson reportedly told his victim not to tell anybody. He then grabbed her by the throat, forcing her head back, and kissed her and put his tongue in her mouth. Whoa. That's a little R word right there, man. The affidavit states Mahomes was recently arrested and charged with 3 counts of aggravated S battery and an additional count of misdemeanor battery. On Monday, Johnson County District Judge Thomas Sutherland ordered the release of a redacted copy of the police affidavit, which states Jackson grabbed Aspen Vaughn. Okay, I'm surprised that's not an alias, but by the throat, forcing her head back and kissed her. Man. I mean, I think that it probably helps. Looks terrified. Yeah. Like that right there, like that's like either a terrified face. And so not that anything's wrong with that, but like I didn't think he was into girls. You know what I mean? Like nothing's wrong with that, obviously, but like, and so I didn't think that he was into girls. Surprise, surprise. We never know. We'll never know. What else we got here? Show me some love right here. We already talked about that guy. With Jalen Hurts wins MVP. I'm not seeing it. That's Josh Allen's. Oh, this guy. Please tell me. You've watched Brandon Perna. That's good sports. That's my guy. It's my homie.
The tallest NFL player ever was Richard Sly. How tall was he? Well, let's just start by saying he was so tall that the Oakland Raiders drafted him in the 10th round of the 1967 draft. That's
I didn't realize there was more than 7 rounds back.
Fitting, considering the Raiders had a long streak of drafting dudes with one insane measurable. Was he a good football player? No clue, but he ran the fastest 40. Let's take him in the first round. That was the Raiders' MO. Now, Richard Sly played in 8 games in 1967, plus 2 in the postseason at defensive tackle. He did only play for that one season, but at a staggering 7 feet tall, he's the only guy at that height to ever do it on the pro football field. I think he might be used as a tight end if he played today, and was the best 7 foot tall player ever, because he was the only 7 foot tall player ever, which should show you how difficult it is to have a body that big.
Yeah, That's Good Sports is great stuff if you haven't had a chance to look at it. Breece Hall comeback. Man, I really hope he's not good for week 1. And so I hope he has a full recovery. That he comes back and he owns it, but just not week 1. Calvin Ridley, something to consider. Chris Gonzo. What was this guy? Like an 8th round pick or something like that? Yeah, we saw that McAfee's going to ESPN in the fall. That's cool. Who even knows? Ladies and gents, thank you so much for tuning in to another edition of Don Mafia Live. I think I'm going to start doing this on Wednesdays. It's going to be just me reacting to what the national media is saying, see if there's any absolute dumb takes. And I was also thinking about an idea of doing a show exclusively of bad takes. So if you see anything on Twitter, if you see anything on TikTok, if you see anything that's just like a cringy take, like terrible takes, DM me on Twitter. No. At me on that tweet. Just at me on the tweet. Send me the TikTok via Instagram, via Twitter exclusively. Follow me on there. Send me every single bad take that you see. Okay? And then I think I'm going to do a bad take show. I think that would be very, very good. Regardless, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Doses.